And on behalf of Chrissy, Carl, Julie and myself, welcome and thanks for helping us enjoy this great day. That wasn't bad. Loads of you have travelled a long way, and I believe we have a fairly large but well-behaved contingent from Ireland here. Reasonably well-behaved. We have a party from Canada. Quite right. Chrissy's back from Cyprus, Leon's back from the States, and John and Rosie back from Australia. And until recently, we do have with us today a man who, until very recently, used to live in a metal box with a German Shepherd. That's a dog, by the way.
Still there, still living.
I didn't want to tell the taxman. The parents amongst us will know that the most precious things you have are your children. And today I gave one away to a man she's only known for 11 years. And he calls me ponderous. I still haven't bought that watch. In December 2013, Richard and Claire were staying with us in Devon, and Richard and I were walking down to the seafront. Yeah, we do live quite close. And Richard asked me a couple of questions, and I knew what was coming, but he said, he calls me DJ, that's my middle name. DJ, he said, you know I love Claire. I said, you never doubted it. And he said, you know she's my best friend. And I said, yeah, never doubted it. And he said, you know I put her before myself. Maybe. He said, well, I'd like your permission for her hand in marriage. Are you sure? I said. But he was, and he'd even planned where he was going to propose. He was going to propose, can you guess where? In Iceland. I did suggest that Claire was more of a Waitrose person, but he meant the country, of course, and they were going there the following February, and he was going to propose under the Northern Lights. Very romantic, lovely. So, of course, I gave my consent, and then Richard offered to buy me a drink. He did, honestly.
First time for everything.
I don't know if you've ever tried to buy a drink at 9 in the morning in Devon. It was true to form, so we went for a coffee instead. It was £5.80 I paid, but what the heck? We were celebrating. I had no intention of paying, but no cash paying is true to form. And so, February 2014 in Iceland, very early in the morning, the hotel reception phoned Richard and Claire's room. They had a room together, they weren't married. And they said the Northern Lights had shown. So out they went, they admired the spectacle, and two things happened. Richard went down on one knee, proposed, and then cut his knee on the lower. And for those of you who know Richard well, you'll understand the attention was back with him again. But of course it was a very emotional time and very, very romantic. And over the years I've grown very close to Richard, and we are very close friends. And he did confide in me that emotions were high and the tears did flow. It was when Claire put the TCP on his knee. However, I didn't know whether to say this bit or not. However, my son told me to. The following day, he did enjoy himself on a little geezer. Now, we're here, so clearly Claire accepted his offer. And in hindsight, it was the best proposal she'd ever had. The first one was from a toothless gold miner in Calico, California in 2002. And that's true. Now, Claire, this is the tricky one. Claire's asked me not to embarrass her, not to make her cry, not to make her laugh, and not to tell any dad jokes because you're not funny. So after 30 years of being laughed at, ridiculed and ignored, here we go. But then it struck me that Claire and I once worked together for 3.5 years, so Claire, if you keep quiet, so will I. I'm reminded today of when Claire was young. She still is, but younger. And the time she ran away from home, and we found her in the Chinese takeaway in Watford, where we were living. She was hungry then. Also, when Claire was young, she struggled with the concept of marriage. And so I got out, Julie and I got out our photo album and showed her the webcam. And I said, "Do you understand now?" She said, "Well, I think so. Was this when Mummy came to work for us?" Deep understanding. Claire is, and has always been, a wonderful daughter to us. From someone once so small, she's grown into a great personality and someone we look up to and admire. She's one of my best friends and someone who's always fun and an ace little wine drinker. She gets these things from her mother. Her moodiness she does get from me, and her frequent outbursts of bad language clearly from Richard. She's so alive, always on the go. Claire works extremely hard and plays very hard. Her social life tires me out just listening to her. Her weekend schedule is punishing. Mine tends to be snoozes between beers. And to put this into perspective, Julie said to me last weekend, "Shall we run upstairs and make love?" I said, "Well, which one? We can't do both." Claire, not just today, every day, we really are proud of you. Richard. Secretly, every parent wants to choose their daughter's husband. But this rarely happens in this country. But if we had chosen, it would be Richard. Claire, stop talking, not talking. It would be Richard, because the gold one wasn't right for her anyway. It would have been great. We never worry about Claire's welfare. Richard treats her well, and they're clearly very happy. And more importantly, they're just a pair of kids. Richard, we couldn't have chosen anyone more suitable for Claire. Your feelings have always been obvious to us, and your love and affection has been clear from day one. So for that, a big thank you. You're a very good man. I'm serious now. And we feel, Julie and I feel, that we haven't so much lost a daughter as gained an IT expert. The revenue come in handy. I'm the one with the iPad, you're the one with the cards. But I say these things, Richard, but what do others think? Now, these comments I have to read word for word, and I can't tell you who said them, but I think, and I'm sure all the other single men here today will agree with me, that it was a deeply saddening day to lose a woman such as Claire from the available list on the day she met Rich. On the other hand, I'm sure that all the single women will agree that same day passed without much of a ripple. Right, Pete?
I knew that one anyway.
There are four best men, and there are 5 in his quote, so there is one with some experience. As you probably all know, Rich grew up without any brothers and sisters, so he quickly learned how to entertain himself. Now he has a wife, he can cut that out. First year, isn't it? This one I read and didn't understand. I had to ask a young person to explain it to me. A shining example to all the other room temperature IQ gentlemen of the world that being useless with technology, not being hench at all, and tight buying your rounds won't stop you bagging a beautiful bride.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tom.
We're nearly there. Richard is living proof that despite all the recent advancements in home technology, some people will always need the love of a good woman to guide them through life. And a smoke alarm that updates Facebook every time you burn a toast. Richard is all things to all people, but but to me he sits somewhere between Jack Bauer and Tall Guy. When starting out in married life, things are not always straightforward. They can be tough, they can be hard, and it's no different for these two. And they have to understand that. They're starting out with just a 3-bedroom detached house overlooking two new cars, a big fridge and a cleaner. Their holiday schedule in a rolling year, together or apart, includes Iceland, Tokyo, Norway, Iceland, they've been twice, I'm not repeating myself, Boston, Dubai, New York, Iceland, they're going another time as well. The stag do was there as well. And as my lovely cousin Carol once said to me, do you feel like a poor relation? Yes, Carol, you do. I just have a few more things to say, and there are a couple more thank yous. It's to Claire and Richard for making the 4 parents here very, very happy. And to all of you as well for joining us today and making it such a great day. And lastly, we genuinely hope that your love for each other will so deepen and grow that years from now, you will look back on this day, your wedding day, as the day you loved each other least. You know what I mean. Claire and Richard.